David Shannon, duck on a tractor. What are those?
Nuts.
Oh, lug nuts.
Bolts in there.
Oh, it's like the tires. Duck on a tractor. The Blue Sky Press. Down on the farm, Duck sometimes got wild ideas. One day he decided he would ride a bike, so he did. Then he spotted the tractor. I bet I can drive a tractor, he said. The other animals weren't so sure, but they said, well, if he can ride a bike, maybe he can drive a tractor too. What do you think?
I want to see a horsey.
Oh, okay, on the cover. We'll look at it at the end, the whole thing. Oh, there's the whole thing. Duck climbed on the tractor and looked around. He pushed some pedals and wiggled a metal stick. I know, we'll do it in just a minute. We'll do it in just a minute. I promise. This is a whole tractor right there. It's talking about the tractor. Oops. Wiggled a metal stick, but nothing happened. Then a shiny little piece of metal by the steering wheel caught his eye. He pulled it out, he pushed it in, then he turned it. All of a sudden, the tractor shook and coughed and rumbled. It began to move. At first it moved very slowly and it jerked a lot, but it was fun. Duck drove around the barnyard until he got the hang of it. Then he stopped in front of the other animals. "Climb on, everybody," shouted Duck. Dog was first. He jumped up next to Duck. "Woof," said Dog, but what he thought was, "We're going for a ride." To everyone's surprise, Cow clambered on next. "Moo," said Cow, but what she thought was, "This is the silliest thing I've ever done." Pig and Pig took a seat in back. "Oink," said Pig and Pig, but what they thought was, "This sure beats walking." The pigs look happy. A little smile. Then came Chicken, Mouse, and Goat. "Squawk," said Chicken, but what she thought was, "Last one on is a rotten egg." "Squeak," said Mouse, but what she thought was, "I can see everything from up here." "Ma," said Goat, but what he thought was, "I'm hungry. Does the garbage dump have a drive-through window?" Not silly. A little mouse. You see a mouse up there on top of the wheel?
Yeah.
With his arms out, catching the wind, catching the breeze. Next up were Horse and Cat. Cat jumped up gracefully into the tractor. Horse, not so much. "Meow," said Cat, but what she thought was, "I'm going to take a nap. I was going to take a nap, but this should be very interesting." Said Horse, but what he thought was, "I think I'd rather walk." Look at the face of Horse. Isn't that silly face?
Yeah.
Look at the eyes. My goodness. Oh, and look at that. What is that?
I see.
The only one left.
Over.
Yeah, the only one left was sheep. Bah.
And the dog are looking up.
Yeah, the dog is looking up. Sheep. But what she thought was, "This is too dangerous. Get on, sheep," everyone shouted. But sheep wouldn't budge. So Duck started driving away without her. "Wait," cried Sheep. "Don't leave me here all alone." She ran after the tractor and took a flying leap onto it. "Quack," yelled Duck. But what he thought was, "Wahoo!" Duck steered the tractor down the lane and out onto the main road. And before long, they were driving right through the middle of town. Look at that, Benji. Right through town. It was lunchtime, so most people were in the diner. They all looked up when Duck and the other animals passed by the big window.
Maybe I'll go and walk.
Oh. A little boy named Edison was having lunch with his grandma. "Did you ever?" Grandma gasped. But what she thought was, a duck on a tractor? That's impossible. That's totally awesome, Edison shouted. But what he thought was, no one's going to believe this. Marcine, the waitress, looked up from her pad and noticed Cat. Heavens to Betsy. But what she thought was, I like cats. Deputy Bob blabbered, "If that don't beat all." But what he thought was, how am I going to explain this to the sheriff? Look at them all looking. And you see, Edison has a camera. A man named Otis chimed in, "I must be seeing things." But what he thought was, oh no, not again. "Holy cow," hollered Manny the cook. But what he thought was, holy cow. Manny usually said exactly what he thought. The mayor almost choked on his pie. "Good gravy," he sputtered. But what he thought was, those pigs are even fatter than I am. Look at all the food on the shirt. Corky just whistled. But what he thought was, that duck is smarter than he looks. Gwen came out of the bathroom. "Would you look at that?" she exclaimed. But what she thought was, I can't see a thing without my glasses. Farmer Ardell observed, "What a dang nice tractor." But what he thought was, hey, that's my tractor. He decided he'd better go after it and ran out the door. Everyone else ran out too, chased after him. Look at them all running. Out the door, out the door. Run, run, run. By this time, Duck had turned onto the next street. The tractor shuddered to a stop. Duck tried turning the shiny little piece of metal again. Nothing happened. "I don't know much about spelling," said Dog, "but I think that E means it's the end of our ride." Sheep cleared her throat. "You know," she said, "I think we might get in trouble for this." "Let's get out of here," yelled Duck, just as Farmer Ardell and everyone from the diner came around the corner. See that? It says empty. The gas is empty. Let me get some more gas in there.
Get on.
They got off, and look at that. All the people are looking, thinking, scratching their heads, looking at each other. They're not too sure. And then everyone burst out laughing. "Nah," they said, "it couldn't have been. It was an optical illusion," exclaimed Ovis. Farmer Odell said he must have left his tracker running by accident. "I guess that explains it," Deputy Bob agreed. Then they all went back to the diner to finish their lunch. And no one ever admitted that on that day they had seen a cow, a goat, a cat, a dog, a sheep, a chicken, a horse, 2 pigs, a mouse, and a duck on a tractor. The end. Look at that, Benji. And look, what do you see?
Bike.
Yeah, a duck on a bike. Do you want to read that one too?
We never go on a bike.
Yeah, we haven't gone on a bike for a long time. And look at that. That was called Duck on a Tractor.
I see a whole thing.
You see the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole tractor. And there's Duck driving it.
A giant whole.
Do you like that book?
Yeah.
That was a good book.